are now listening to the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys is a John Mitchell story and is brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Previously on the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys...
We'll get some serious sub-bass going on, and then we can have some mad, deep vibrations happening.
Do you think the vibrations from their sound machine can disrupt the gyroscope inside the vortex centrifuge?
I think it will, my old friend.
Now the next part of the story. Episode 5. Toadie is alarmed and rushes to grab all the paper which is flying everywhere. With all the forms destroyed, Efuhofcn's temper is somewhat abated, and he turns to the two rhinoceros-looking demons. He tells them calmly,
"Open the vortex."
They do as he asks, and one of them turns a dial on the side of the device. The yellow energy arcing into the air above the device turns blue, and a rift 10 feet high opens above. Efuhofcn turns to Yertafgryn.
Now, with no more tedious human forms to deal with, we can do things the right way. As you have defied me, you will pay the price of all the others who defy me. You will be banished into the vortex for all time. When we return to hell, I will leave you here in the vortex forever.
He looks menacingly at Yertafgryn, who nervously wonders about what is happening with the sound system. Back at the grassy field, thousands of protestors have now congregated and are waiting patiently for the show to begin. Dubmaster Swift takes to the DJ booth. The crowds cheer when they see him. He places an unopened bottle of mineral water collected from frozen springs in Antarctica and a limited edition with only 75 bottles in existence next to the decks. He picks up the microphone and, like a priest addressing his congregation, he speaks.
The greatest, most momentous, groundbreaking event of humankind is about to begin. I, Dubmaster Swift, the fastest master mixer of all time, give you my eternal partygoers. The experience that will shape your lives, your memories forever. The Demon Park Party!
The crowd goes wild. Swift plugs his USB stick into the laptop next to the mixing desk. He spends a few seconds navigating the file explorer.
Won't be a second, everyone.
The crowd wonders what he's doing. He's looking through folders before finding his mixes one. Eventually, after much scrolling, he finds his file. The crowd is confused.
Here we go, everyone. Oblivion will be unleashed!
He double-clicks his preferred mix file, and the sound system erupts with a siren, followed by a pounding bass line and explosive drums. The crowd cheer and begin dancing. Swift looks on with a big grin on his face. He almost forgets to pretend to work the mixing desk and its turntables. The sound from the performance in the field carries over to Efuhofcn's throne area. He is seconds away from having Yertafgryn thrown into the vortex. On hearing the pounding bass line, he and the other demons are instantly confused.
What is this raucous noise, and where is it coming from?
He shouts over to his assemblage. They're as bewildered as he is, and look at each other hoping someone else has some answers. Yertafgryn, in contrast, is wide awake and focused. He looks over at the centrifuge to see the effect of the bass upon it. The gyroscope still spins on its point, and the vibrations from the bass are moving it slightly, but not enough to bounce it off. He is instantly frustrated and desperately wants them to raise the volume. Efuhofcn is panic-stricken. He's never heard a noise like this before, and it's happening on his turf. He screams at his minions for answers as to what is occurring. Eventually, one of his loyal demons runs to the throne area. He blurts out that there's a commotion at the other end of the park, some kind of large gathering of humans and demons, but he doesn't know why it's happening. Efuhofcn is incensed at the audacity of this and commands Dhoiufg, his thugs, and all his bodyguards to accompany him as he goes to smash the gathering to pieces. They hastily group and move out following Efuhofcn as he strides off. All that is left behind are the two guardians of the vortex, the rhinoceros twins and Yertafgryn, who is still held tight in his magically strong shackles, his eyes never leaving the gyroscope. Dubmaster Swift is enjoying the party atmosphere. Seeing so many people enjoying themselves dancing to his mix swells his sense of glory to new heights. He grabs the microphone and addresses the crowd over the music.
I'm your guide to a journey to the vast unknown. I will shepherd you into areas of your mind that have no meaning, no beginning, no end. I will take you beyond all comprehension to the vast chasms of your consciousness. I am the Master Swift!
The crowd cheer and chant his name over and over. He holds his arms out wide to receive the adulation. He looks over his adoring partygoers and notices something moving up in the sky. Helicopters. Police helicopters are now flying over the park with their cameras trained on the party. They are beaming the live video feed direct to a police surveillance truck parked up behind the cordon. Numerous police officers and the chief of police are watching the footage to get a fix on what's happening. The helicopter crew is giving them a constant commentary on what they can see. The police call in the council rep and show him what's happening. He looks on aghast at the monitor as it shows a large concert with thousands of people, complete with what now looks like a makeshift hot dog stand and vendors selling glow sticks. He can't believe that all this has happened right under their noses and is frantically angry. He screams and shouts orders at the police to break the concert up. The police chief immediately orders his men to organize a squad of riot police to enter the park. On camera, the helicopter crew has identified how the protesters are gaining entry into the park. They can see a large crowd of people in the street on the edge of the park, and a steady stream of this crowd going through a house and coming out of the back door to climb a wall into the garden and into the park. The chief orders more police teams to get armed and drive down there to block entry into the house and to disperse this crowd as fast as possible. Satisfied that the police are springing into action, he decides to want an immediate explanation from Efuhofcn. How could Efuhofcn not know what was going on in his park? How did he not see this happening? Was he part of this? Did he allow it to happen? The council rep is raging and wants answers. Efuhofcn and his band of thugs have reached a small knoll which overlooks the concert. They stand on the summit, stunned by what they're seeing. Thousands of people enjoying a party, surrounded by a ring of demons for protection. Efuhofcn is extremely disturbed by the brazen cheek of it all. His fury burns inside him as he takes in the spectacle. He feels that everything he sees is a personal insult directed at his authority. The peasants are finally rebelling against him. He is rendered speechless as his anger rises, and his thugs watch him carefully as they wonder if he'll explode. His toady rushes up to him, carrying his phone. Efuhofcn is so paralyzed with rage that he doesn't notice, and the toady holds the phone up to his ear. The council rep's voice can be heard screaming down the line. The screaming and shouting finally arouse Efuhofcn from his trance, and he looks to see the phone in the toady's claws. He realizes who's on the phone and acknowledges the rep with a low growl. The rep screams at him.
Efuhofcn, what the hell was going on in that park? Did you arrange this? Are you involved? Are you trying to make me look like a fool? What the hell are you doing?
I don't know anything about this. I don't even understand what is going on.
I'll tell you what's going on, you imbecile. We're being made to look like idiots in front of the whole world. They're beaming footage from the concert all over the world on social media. Facebook and Twitter have exploded with video from this event.
Down in the concert area, we see thousands of people filming the show with their phones, taking selfies and writing status updates. Up in the air, we see drones flying over the party, filming, and webcams broadcasting the show from over on the stage itself. The reporter and his crew have managed to come through Floyd's mum's house and are now setting up their camera equipment, ready to capture the event for TV broadcast.
We're supposed to have this whole area cordoned off and everything quiet with no fuss. We're supposed to have everything under control. This is a majorly embarrassing problem for the council, and you're supposed to be on our side making sure that nothing like this ever happens. How the hell did this happen?
Efuhofcn searches for an answer.
It happened in secret. Someone organized this as an act of rebellion. It was a plot against me.
Well, you better get this whole circus stopped right now. I'll make sure when the council speaks to Satan, they'll tell him that you alone caused all this mess with your incompetence. We'll tell him it was all your fault, and we'll make sure you never get a good job in hell. We'll ruin you.
Efuhofcn roars in anger, then shouts at Dhoiufg to take his thugs and destroy the concert, smashing everything and everyone up. Dhoiufg bellows at his thugs, and they charge down the hill towards the defensive line of demons below. Hearing the orders being given, the rep is assured that the situation still will be brought back under control, and he ends the call. Efuhofcn howls in frustration and stands on the hill with the toady and a few trusted bodyguards, watching his thugs storming away. The reporter and his crew are ready to film. The reporter adjusts his tie, takes one last look around the spectacle, and addresses the camera.
After receiving a tip-off from the internet, we are here inside the police cordon, deep inside the Demon Park, and we are witnessing a scene that can only be described as extraordinary. Out of nowhere, the protestors surrounding the park have managed to infiltrate and put on a major gig with top superstar DJs. Everyone is dancing and having a great time. And even more surprising is that the demons are here too, acting as security. I'm guessing they'll be keeping the police and authorities from disrupting the event. All of this is sure to cause the local council a lot of awkward problems. There is no way of knowing exactly how they will react to this. We will keep you posted.
Squads of riot police climb into black police riot vans. Once the doors are shut, the vans set off slowly, negotiating their way through the throng of protesters at the gates. The protesters look on in confusion about what is happening. They have heard rumors about the party and can hear the music, but this crowd hasn't received the instruction of how to get into the park to join in. Consequently, they're excited and desperate to be part of the event. They watch the vans move through the crowd, proceeding at a crawl. Large parts of the crowd break away from the main group and decide to follow the vans, believing they will be going to where the foremost action is. As the vans disappear down the street, the remaining crowd can see that the police presence at the gates is now much reduced. They see a perfect opportunity to break past the few marooned police left behind and on into the camp through the gates to join the party. The council rep sees the vans drive off and feels confident that the riot police combined with Efuhofcn's demons will get this whole situation broken up and brought swiftly under control. For the first time in the past hour, he feels himself relax and decides to have a well-earned cup of tea. The first protesters decide to test the strength of the remaining police line, and a small number of them probe the cordon by rushing at it. A few police grab them and push them back, but doing so opens up gaps in the line. These gaps look inviting to the rest of the protesters, who can see the gates in the not too far distance and hear the noise of the party beyond. The amount of protesters rushing the gaps in the gate is small at first, but some of them are making it over the metal fence and into the restricted area behind, where they jump up and down laughing. This spurs on more protesters to join in, and soon a massive pack of them rushes the line.
Come on, smash the police!
The police are overwhelmed and their line fragments. The protesters see behind that the cordon is finally broken, and they seize the opportunity to charge the line to get into the park.
Get the police!
The remaining police pull back towards their vans and trucks.
We need a medic!
The council rep has just poured himself a cup of tea inside one of the vans. He hears the commotion outside and wonders what is going on. He opens his van door to see hundreds of protesters jubilantly pouring past him, trashing everything in their way. He immediately spills his tea over himself in complete panic. Dhoiufg and his thin line of demons watch anxiously as Dhoiufg and his thugs charge down the hill towards them. They brace themselves as the first thugs crash into them. They struggle to hold them back as Dhoiufg and the last of his thugs arrive and violently clash with them. Dhoiufg can see that there's no chance his small band of demons can hold the line at the point of impact, so calls over the rest of the defending demons. They abandon their positions to charge into Dhoiufg's gang of traitors from the sides. With the traitor demons now trapped on three sides, the skirmish descends into a mighty demon free-for-all, with punching, biting and kicking. Very quickly it escalates, and the warring demons bring out their demon magic and start attacking each other with flame, frost, electricity, gravity and all other forms of energy. Seeing Dhoiufg punch three defending demons skyward with a single punch, he realizes they won't be able to contain the traitor demons for very long. They need the help of the trapped vortex demons immediately. Dhoiufg calls over to the extremely anxious Floyd, telling him to have the engineer boost the bass as much as possible.
Boost the bass, man!
The party-going protesters have noticed the demon war and are now turning round to watch, open-mouthed at the ruckus. Floyd needs to get to the engineer's desk, but the protesters are in the way. Even more now, they're watching the demons fight. The reporter sees what's happening, and realizing that this is his big chance to get an awesome story, gets his camera crew to start filming the demons. Back at the vortex, Yertafgryn is distraught at the fact that the gyroscope refuses to bounce off its point. He can hear the commotion and smell the acrid scent of demon magic. He knows that time is fast running out. The vortex needs to be opened immediately. Floyd manages to get close enough to the sound engineer to shout at him to boost the bass as much as the system will allow.
Boost the bass, man!
The engineer nods and starts adjusting the setup. The bass gets more intense, and over at the vortex, Yertafgryn's eyes light up. He can feel the increase in the bass where he's standing, and he watches the gyroscope as it's now bouncing up off its point. It's tantalizingly close. Dubmaster Swift knows that he's losing the focus of the crowd and that their attention is being drawn to an area at the far edge of the field. He can see a commotion there, and by squinting his eyes he sees that there's a full-on demon brawl kicking off. He feels intense irritation that his adoring partygoers are distracted and no longer listening to his 12th best mix ever. He decides to take back control of the event, so he presses pause on the laptop. The sound system falls silent. Dhoiufg, Floyd and the sound engineer are instantly horrified. The gyroscope bounces up off its point. Yertafgryn is on the edge of exploding with joy, and then the music stops. The gyroscope drops back onto its point and continues spinning. The vortex is undisturbed. Panic crawls all over Yertafgryn as he desperately wonders what is going on. The crowd of partygoers turns back to the DJ stand to see why the music has stopped. Dubmaster Swift takes the microphone. He points over at the distant brawling.
This party is about history in the making. It's about love and understanding. It's about everyone coming together under the umbrella of overwhelming positive feelings. Not about stupid, brainless fighting. I'm not letting these Neanderthals spoil the greatest day in history with this ridiculous punch-up. The music stays on until they finish fighting.
The crowd cheer and boo. Some like his seemingly principled stance. The others don't care and just want a party. Dhoiufg and Floyd definitely care. Floyd manages to reach the DJ booth and begs Swift to press play again.
Press play, man.
Swift is having none of it. He's not prepared to compete for the crowd's attention with a bunch of numbskull demon freaks battling each other, and he pushes Floyd out of the booth.
Hey, man.
Dhoiufg sees this and then looks back at the fighting. The defending demons are being badly hammered by the traitors. They won't be able to hang on for much longer. It's imperative that Swift starts the music again. Floyd tries again to reason with Swift, but Swift won't listen and kicks Floyd out of the booth this time.
Ow, that hurts, man.
Dhoiufg realizes he has to sort this out, so he breaks away from the fight, runs through the crowd towards the stage. He soon reaches Floyd, who tries to explain his lame attempt to persuade Swift. Dhoiufg is fired up and barges past him and jumps into the DJ booth. Swift's surprised to see the 4-foot-tall, 6-baby-armed panda and decides this time he won't be intimidated by a cuddly, multi-limbed teddy bear.
I'm not pressing play and you can't make me!
Dhoiufg is enraged and grabs Swift's limited edition bottle of mineral water. Swift is suddenly terrified about what the panda will do. Dhoiufg tightens his grip on the bottle.
Oh my god! There's only 75 of these in existence. Don't do anything foolish!
Dhoiufg opens the bottle and pours the contents over the floor. Swift shrieks with distress.
Stop fucking with my accessories, Jesus! I'll press play. Why'd you have to be such a dick, you crazy fucking koala bears?
Swift presses play again, and the bass drives out from the speakers, shaking the earth and pounding through the air. The crowd goes wild. Dhoiufg throws the empty bottle at Swift, who flinches dramatically as it misses him. He then descends from the DJ booth and hurriedly makes his way back up the fight to shore up the defenders. The riot vans arrive at the street outside Floyd's mum's house. The protesters gathered there look on worriedly as the van doors open and squads of fully armoured riot police pour out. The officers in charge quickly organise these troops.
Come on, get ready!
The troops ready their batons. Once the officer is happy that they're all set,
Break up the crowd.
he orders them to button charge away.
Bash some heads in!
The first group steams into the assembled mass congregating in the street around the house. They charge forward, swinging their batons with abandonment, smashing protesters around their heads. The crowd flee and move back 50 feet. The police move up and fill the gap, standing in a shielded wall from one side of the street to the other. The throng of protesters angrily faces them from a short distance. Meanwhile, the second group of riot police charge into Floyd's mum's house, baton charging everyone in their way. They kick over Melvin's table and smack him around the head when he complains. They rush through the house, deliberately smashing all the ornaments on the mantelpiece. When they reach the kitchen, they baton charge the microwave and taser the fridge freezer. Out in the garden, they roughly pull protesters off the wall and beat them when they're on the ground. They kick over the barbecue griddle and throw the patio set into the neighbor's garden. Once they've secured the house, the garden, and expelled all the partygoers by throwing them into the street, they regroup and climb over the wall, charging off into the park towards the concert area. The helicopter in the air gives them a constant stream of directions as they go. The large group of protesters that left the cordon to follow the police vans now arrives in the street. After running excitedly for 5 minutes, they're warmed up and ready for action. They swarm through the crowd of protesters who minutes before were being brutally baton charged. They rush at the police shield wall while swinging branches and throwing glass bottles and bricks. The police brace themselves to meet this attack and fight back with their batons whilst holding the line. The protesters who breached the cordon are running through the park. They arrive at the demon camp and are surprised to see the demons for the first time. The demons too are extremely surprised to see their camp invaded by a multitude of dirty protesters rushing through, laughing and having fun. They watch dumbly as the protesters go by, the excitement of the situation rubbing off at them and finally making them shake off their despondent stupor. The council rep has locked himself inside his police van and is frantically trying to reach the office of the council executives on his phone. Tears run down his face as the van is rocked from side to side by protesters who are having a great time. The gyroscope is bouncing all over the place. Yertafgryn stares at it, desperately willing it to drop off its point. It's surely only a matter of seconds. The two rhinoceros-themed demons stand around, not really noticing anything untoward at all. Dhoiufg is covered in flames and blood. He punches his way through the last of Dhoiufg's defending demons. Once this breach happens, the traitor demons smash through the gap, forcing the exhausted defenders to break off from fighting. The traitors now rush past them and charge off across the field towards the sound system. The partygoers see the oncoming demon horde and run away, panic-stricken. At the opposite end of the field, the riot police have arrived, and seeing the stage area beyond, they take out their batons once more and charge towards it, clubbing partygoers as they pass. The partygoers are caught on both sides by vengeful foes, and the whole crowd disperses with people running off in every direction, screaming and shouting. Dubmaster Swift sees the chaos and realizes that both the police and demon horde are coming for him, and the soundstage.
The guy in the field.
He panics and shouts over to Floyd that he wants him to order a helicopter so he can escape. Floyd wonders what planet Swift is on. Not wanting to get arrested or beaten, he runs off back in the direction of his mum's house. Back at the house, Melvin and Ralph recover from the baton beatings they've suffered. They look around at the carnage of the house and can hear the intense fighting in the street outside. They decide it's time to make a run for it. They go into the kitchen and root through the broken drawers and cupboards, trying to find plastic bags. When they have enough, they stuff all their money from the sales into them. They now have 10 bags, each stuffed full of notes and coins. But they realize they won't be able to run very far with this loot. They look out of the broken windows to see that their escape route into the street is cut off with the police fighting rioters outside. Their money would be robbed instantly if they stepped out there, so they rush to the back of the house and look to the park as a potential escape route. Their hearts sink when they're greeted with the view of thousands of panic-stricken partygoers sprinting towards them from the park. There's no escape. Their only hope is to hide in the house, so they run upstairs. Melvin reaches up and pushes open the hatch for the attic. Ralph gives him a leg up, and once inside he passes up the bags of cash. Then Melvin helps pull Ralph up. They close the hatch and sit quietly in the dark as they hear the screams and shouts of thousands of people streaming into the house from the garden outside. The partygoers stream through the house and charge into the rear of the police who are holding the rioters back. This panics the police, who are being rushed from both sides. They can't hold the line like this, so they break off and rush back to the safety of their vans while screaming into their radios for backup to arrive. The reporter and his crew continue to film the chaos enveloping the park. The reporter shouts with excitement as things go from bad to worse. The demon traitors are almost at the soundstage and are smashing their way through unfortunate partygoers who are stuck between them and the riot police coming from the opposite direction. Efuhofcn sees that everything's almost lost, and in one last desperate attempt to win the day, he calls for the sound engineer to push the volume to its limits. The sound engineer is reluctant as he thinks doing so will blow the equipment. But with the demon herd now only 20 feet away and gaining fast, he decides that he has no choice anyway, so he pushes the sound system to its absolute limit. The noise from the speakers is absolutely deafening, and it pounds with relentless ferocity. The gyroscope bounces on its point. As the increase in volume hits home, the vibrations reaching across the camp hit the gyroscope with a fury. It is bumped an inch into the air and drops from its spinning point. Yertafgryn watches transfixed as it topples, his whole body exploding with excitement. As it falls onto the bottom of the glass tube, its power holding the vortex in place instantly dissipates, and the yellow, crackling energy above the device rips open a giant rift in the air. Out of this rift drop 50 or so grizzled and mean-looking demons. They plummet 30 feet into the muddy ground. The rift now instantly folds in on itself and vaporizes with a small haze of smoke and a sulphurous smell being the only evidence it ever existed. The two rhinoceros demons don't notice anything untoward happening. The mean demons are overjoyed at being freed. They hug and punch each other. Then they notice Yertafgryn watching them. He is bound with magical shackles. The agreed leader of these rebel demons is called Pqeddcyg, and he is known to his friend as the unholy defiler of forgotten secrets, sultan of snakes, and enthusiastic participant in somewhat unreasonable behaviors. He walks over to Yertafgryn, and with a flick of his wrist, his shackles are obliterated. As the rebels orientate themselves with being back in the physical realm, Yertafgryn takes the time to involve Pqeddcyg about everything that's happened in the camp and how they need him and his rebels to help break Efuhofcn's stranglehold on the demons so they can break out and cause chaos on Earth. Pqeddcyg doesn't take much convincing. He orders his army into two groups. One will go off into the camp and raise the demons there into an army which will break out and start the conquest of the physical realm. The second group will be commanded by himself and will go after Efuhofcn with the intent of seeking bloody revenge against him and his traitor scum collaborators. Yertafgryn is delighted as he watches the two men depart. Back at the concert area, the demons have beaten their way through the last of the trapped partygoers and have started to smash up the soundstage. The police have also reached the soundstage and are also smashing it. A demon grabs the sound engineer and throws him 50 feet into the air into the trees beyond. Another demon grabs his mixing desk and smashes it across his own head. The music is cut off, revealing nothing but the screams of protestors and the sounds of furious violence from demons and riot police. The police have reached the DJ booth. Inside it, the awesome Dubmaster Swift is curled up in the corner, whimpering. He clutches his USB stick tightly. He tells the police he needs an immediate police escort away from the area, a limousine ordered and access to a trauma counsellor. Instead, they baton charge him. The traitor demons have destroyed the soundstage, and they notice a badly beaten panda bear in the mud. Dhoiufg walks over and picks the panda up. Holding its limp form in his claw, he remarks how he has caught one of the enemy leaders. The other traitor demons cheer. Watching all this happen is Efuhofcn. He stands on the hill with his toady and 3 bodyguards. He has seen his demons destroy the party and end the event. An overpowering sense of relief and contentment overtakes him, and he relaxes. A big crooked smile appears on his face. He orders his toady to phone the council rep to tell him that everything in the camp is now back under his control. The toady immediately speed dials the rep's number, but the rep's phone is busy. No matter, thinks Efuhofcn. The day is won anyhow. Just as he's about to congratulate his bodyguards, he notices they're not there. He looks round to see them sprinting away as fast as they can. He wonders what they're doing and looks to his toady. The toady is transfixed with fear, and looking behind them, Efuhofcn turns to see what he's looking at. His eyes widen with terror as standing before him is Pqeddcyg and 20 rough-looking, very angry rebel demons. Efuhofcn screams out for Dhoiufg to help him and tries to run down the hill. Pqeddcyg shakes his head as his rebels quickly grab Efuhofcn and drag him back. He is thrown on the ground in front of the rebel leader. Pqeddcyg wastes no time in releasing his pent-up anger by stamping on Efuhofcn's head. That so-called king of the camp is now rendered unconscious, and Pqeddcyg orders his 20 rebels down the remnants of the concert area to smash the other traitor demons. They happily charge off down the hill. As they rush past the site of the first battle, the defeated and beaten defenders see the rebels and are elated by the sight of them. They cheer as they run past. Some of them try to join them by running down the hill after them. The traitor demons are exhausted after battling everyone and everything. They are relaxed as they glory in their victory. They congratulate each other and recount their personal tales of bravery while sitting around in the carnage they've created. The noise of the defenders cheering causes the traitors to look up. They go white with fright when they see the enormous and furious rebel demons bearing down on them. Back in the main gate, the police have managed to gain control of the cordon and have formed a pocket around the entrance. Most of the protesters have run off into the park, but many remain outside. The council rep has since emerged from his protective shell of the police van and is busy on his phone trying to reach the office of the council executives. Every time he rings them, he gets as far as the secretary, who tells him they're in an emergency meeting and cannot be reached. No matter how much he screams and shouts down the phone at her, she will not budge and interrupt the meeting. She tells him to hold the line, and he limply complies. Meanwhile, the other group of rebel demons have descended on the camp and raised the formerly despondent ones they found into a reinvigorated army, eager to join them in causing a rabble-rousing destruction. These demons finally have their opportunity to cause the chaos that they have a right to do, and they intend to make the most of it. This whole demon army now charges down towards the camp entrance, rushing past the hundreds of protesters, aimlessly mingling around now the concert is finished. The council rep is finally granted an audience on the phone with a spokesperson for the executive committee.
Hello there. Just letting you know that after the protesters caused a riot with an illegal concert, I have now completely got the situation under control once more. It was very difficult for me to do this, but I am extremely good at my job. I'm sure you'll agree that my performance is beyond exemplary.
The voice of the spokesperson answers,
Well, that's certainly encouraging. We have been most disturbed by events surrounding the park. Our newsfeed still shows protesters and riots in the street, but it seems as though the demons are still contained in the camp, which is very positive. I hope you will quickly regain control of these rioters and reinstate the cordon.
Absolutely. I will make it my priority to get things back to how they were. You can certainly count on me to deliver this.
As he finishes this sentence, his mouth droops as he sees in the distance a mass of demons storming down from the camp towards the entrance to the park. The mass bursts through the entrance, smashing the gates apart, and sweeps through the flimsy police defensive line, catapulting officers in every direction. The council rep screams and drops his phone, which smashes. Pqeddcyg and his rebels walk the defeated traitors back to Efuhofcn's former throne area. The two rhinoceros-themed demons look at them curiously. Pqeddcyg has Efuhofcn and Dhoiufg thrown onto the floor. They land by the rhinoceros twins. He orders the twins to reinstate the vortex. They do as he asks by resetting the gyroscope and turning the dials on the side of the vortex. Yellow energy once again arcs up into the air and a rift opens. Efuhofcn begs not to be thrown into the vortex. Dhoiufg is unconscious after being subdued by the whole group of rebels at once. Pqeddcyg looks on as both the former king and his chief thug are cast into the vortex. Once inside, the rift is closed again. The rhinoceros twins go back to standing next to the device as sentries. The rest of the traitor demons are thoroughly miserable and are expecting similar punishment, but Pqeddcyg has other plans and offers them an amnesty if they join him and their campaign to destroy and pillage the earth. They take little persuasion to switch sides and join their new allies. They all walk away towards the camp and the park entrance beyond. Yertafgryn has walked down to the former concert area to try to find his friend. After much searching, he discovers the little panda bear 30 feet high, stuck in the branches of a tree where Dhoiufg threw him. He throws his robes off and starts climbing the tree. When he reaches Dhoiufg, he carefully pulls him out of the branches and puts him over his shoulder before slowly descending once more. When he reaches the ground, he puts Dhoiufg down and cradles his head. The panda is badly battered, but is just about conscious. He speaks to his old friend soothingly, telling him that they've won. The rebel demons escaped the vortex and all the demons are free. Dhoiufg starts to stir. Yertafgryn watches with joy as the panda opens his eyes and with much pain smiles at him, his 6 baby arms each giving a thumbs up. Floyd is one of the last people to leave the park. He slowly walks back to his mum's house, fearing the worst. When he reaches it, he's distraught to see that the whole house is a wreck. He walks through each room, seeing the wanton destruction. Every piece of furniture and fitting has been smashed or stolen. The whole house has been looted and destroyed. He sits down in the wreckage of a sofa with his head in his hands. Oh dear, his mum returns from Tenerife on Thursday. How will he explain this to her?
Can't be happening.
Caught up in his own distress, he doesn't notice. Melvin and Ralph enter the room. They see the mess and feel guilty about their involvement in it. They have carried all their plastic bags down from the attic and dropped them on the floor in front of Floyd. Floyd raises his head to look. So Melvin opens the bag and the money drops out all over the stained carpet. Floyd sees the money but doesn't understand.
What is this?
Melvin tells him that they will pay to have the house redecorated and refurnished. It'll be put all right before his mum returns.
I love you guys.
Floyd has tears running down his face and he hugs Melvin and Ralph. Back out in the city, the night is drawing in, but the darkness is diminished as the city is ablaze with multiple fires. Screams, shouts, and explosions can be heard from everywhere. There is chaos and panic all around. The city is now under siege from the forces of hell. This episode was brought to you by Cine Downloads, narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Today's episode featured Nicholas Vince as Efuhofcn the Demon, Adam Deacon as the Council Rep, John Ian Dredge as Dubmaster Swift. Other voices provided by Lee Norton, Paul Cooper, Written, produced, edited and directed by John Mitchell. Co-produced by Chris Ball Hero. Sound recorded by Louis Thompson, Chris Ball Hero. Sound engineer Andrew Doc Collins. Theme tune by Jed Gray. Thank you for listening, and watch out for the next episode of the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.